now it seems like you've had spring, you've had a summer, there's some normalcy. What's it like for you guys?
It's awesome finally getting back in the groove of things. I mean, like you said, like last year was different. Everything with COVID, we couldn't even meet as a team last year, and that was probably one of the hardest parts about it is we couldn't even be in here as a team in the locker room or in the meeting room or at lunch or dinner. So that was probably the hardest part, and finally getting that normalcy back and getting back to what we're used to. I think that's really helped us not only like forming our brotherhood that Coach Scott emphasizes, but also just coming closer as a team. It's been really good getting back to what we're used to.
Jeff, let's talk here. How do you describe the culture change that you've seen in the locker room from before he got here to now?
It's definitely it's almost like a U-turn. Like the culture has shifted so much in the little time he's been here. I mean he's been here for a year and a half, and now we're in the weight room and everyone's wearing the exact same thing. Like everyone's wearing a green shirt with a cutoff, green shorts, short white ankle socks, and then our green shoe or our gold workout shoes. So like little things like that. It's like you see like something that you guys might not pick up on that you couldn't really see before, but like that's just the first thing that pops into my head when you talk about the culture. And then anything from like even in the locker room, like it's like people pick up trash that's not even theirs. Like people are just walking by and they're like, oh, you got to keep it clean, and they do that in the hallways, they do that in the meeting rooms, so you can kind of see that. It's all around just better.
How does that translate to the field?
Just showing that you're not no one's too big to do the little things, and I think that's one thing that Coach Scott did a good job of teaching us and implementing that from his past experiences. Like I said, you're never too small. You're never too big to do the little things. I mean, like I said, no one. I mean, you could see even Coach Scott. He talks about how he walks past a piece of trash and picks it up, and so that'll translate to the field when you can rely on the guy next to you. He cares about you, cares about this program, cares about where this place has been and where it's going to be. So.
The hardest thing to find is 5 offensive linemen working as one. You had a whole lot of changes last year. How important is it to go in and go, okay, we got 5 guys at least start the season with?
It's super exciting. Last year we I don't think we got starting 5 to play a game together until like week 5 or 6. And so going into camp knowing that all the guys are healthy, ready to go, and like you said, I mean it takes 5. It's a whole operation. If one guy's off, it messes up the whole play. So having 5 guys that know what they're doing, everyone knows what they're doing, but having 5 guys that are comfortable playing together and have played together in the past, it's going to make things run a lot more smoothly as we enter camp and further into the season.
Brad, as a veteran leader on this team, what are some of the things you're going to be looking for early in practice when you hit the field?
A lot of intensity. That's one thing I think that can always be improved on. Bringing that juice out to the field. I mean, we joke about it with the coaches sometimes that that first day of pads, everyone's excited to be out there, everyone's ready to go, and then by practice like 23, it's like, oh gosh, like everyone's hurting, everyone's in pain, everyone's got something that's hurting. So it's just keeping that intensity, keeping that focus, and just bringing that same juice to practice every single day. And so that's one thing that for me I'm gonna be looking for, and pushing guys to keep that same positive attitude throughout all of camp.
Any particular guys that maybe in summer workouts or something like that you're looking forward to seeing get pads and could impress this fall?
There's a lot of guys I could bring up. I know, just speaking from an O-line perspective, Trey Jacobs. Yeah. I mean, that dude is huge, and he's a freak. He's a freak athlete. He's 6'7", 310, and probably runs a sub 540. I mean, he's a freak athlete, and so being out there and competing with him, because he got here in camp last year, so we never really got a chance to train with him, like in our conditioning phase and our lifting phase. So getting a chance to compete with him since January, it's been really fun. Just getting better with him, and then just all around, like we got some good running backs, Mangum, a receiver, we got like Xavier always working hard, and then we've got D-Mark and USF, and then Jaron Williams that work really hard, a lot of people. So I'm expecting a lot, especially from the offensive side of the ball.
What do you think of the new locker room, and what's the best part of the layout of it right now?
I don't even know where to start. I mean, it's crazy. I was just talking with Dwayne a minute ago. It's just like like thinking about where we came from and to where it was before, like we just had wood lockers like all the way around with a big open floor plan, and now it's like we've got rows, we've got, you know, 2 Xboxes, 2 PlayStation 5s. It's like literally everything is the best it could have been, and so like walking into it exceeded all expectations. And so seeing like even like the green neon lights on the bottom, I was excited about that. I'm like, man, this looks good. So I mean, and like all the pictures and all the, you know, everything around it's like I said, it exceeded expectations. So it's
Not
awesome.
to make an excuse, but what was it like, the Citadel game in particular, playing in a morgue? There's nobody there. That's got to get hard to get excited to play, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's when you're playing and you're on the field and, you know, you're in between the whistle, you don't really notice it as much. But then as soon as you come off the sideline and you're getting water and you're looking around, because usually on an away game you're getting heckled. At a home game, you know, you can usually hear the fans going crazy. So that aspect of the game not being there, missed it a lot. But you know, I'm excited for it this year. But yeah, like you said, it's a lot different playing without people yelling 5 feet behind you.
Follow up on that real quick. There's going to be 70,000 people when you play Florida. You got to get fired up for that.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I mean. Everyone's looking forward to every single game, but that one's, you know, got an X on the schedule. Like this, we're looking forward to that one.
Looking at some of the guys that took this extra year, Mitch Brinkman comes to mind, and Mike Wiggs comes to mind, and Thad comes to mind. What's the vibe you've gotten from those guys that took that extra COVID year to come back?
You know, I think it goes back to the culture that Coach Scott has implemented. I mean, you know, if Coach Scott, you know, was a guy that people didn't like and created a staff that people didn't like people wouldn't come back. People wouldn't want to come for a 6th year, or for Thad a 7th year.
Right.
So, you know, just that energy, like they wanted to be a part of it. They wanted to be, you know, a part of something bigger than themselves, and, you know, see that first conference championship come here. Hopefully, you know, this year, we're planning on this year. So, you know, and they wanted to see things like this locker room. You know, last year they wouldn't have got to see it, and then they get the extra year and they're like, I'm definitely coming back. Like I remember when the extra year came out and the NCAA said that people could come back, I think everyone made up their mind within like a day. They're like, yeah, I'm coming back. Except for guys like KJ and Mike Camp that had that opportunity. But I mean, those guys made their mind up that day. Like no one was on the fence. It was like, I'm coming back and we're going to win some games.
Especially with Mike Wiggs, the guy that you've been on the line with for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you look at it, when you were talking to him about potentially taking the next year, what were some of the things that he was telling you about it? About just kind of maybe his desires and stuff like that?
He just told me he wants to win here. He wants to bring back that winning culture, you know. And he was here. I mean, he's super old, so he's been here since he was here with Taggart's last year.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he's seen a program at its almost its highest, and he's seen this program at its, you know, where we've been in recent years. So I mean, you know, and he feels the energy and where we're going right now. And he, like we talked about, he was like, I want to be a part of that. He's like, I want to be a part of a team that, you know, goes and wins 10, 11, 12 games and wins a conference championship and makes a New Year's Six, and, you know, now with the new playoff, makes the playoff. So.
Brad, Coach has often said that if you want to be the best, you got to play some of the better teams. I respect you have a month of workouts to go yet. Nonetheless, just wanted to get your thoughts on the non-conference schedule with NC State, Florida, and BYU.
It's exciting. You know, everyone's, like I said before, like everyone's looking forward to every game, like I said, but those non-conferences are, you know, we've got our eyes on those. We've been talking about them since, I mean, I remember when those games, when Florida got scheduled and I was a freshman, and like we were just, that was in the back of our head, dating back to then. So like even through workouts, you know, we joke around in the weight room, and if one person does, you know, a set of 400 on squats, they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna throw on a 10 for Florida, or I'm gonna throw on 15 for NC State. And so, you know, it's just kind of like a joke to just get ready, like throw on some weight, like let's work. Like I'm gonna run an extra rep just for NC State because I know they're not doing it. So that's just kind of the mindset we took into our training and our conditioning this year. Is just we got to outwork them.
Anything else for Brad?